Steven Guareno, KO Artist Sports. We're here with the one and only Jorge GameBreed Masvidal. Man, that was pretty neat. That was pretty neat right now with Werdum talking about, him when he knocked out Mark Hunt and just, kind of thanking you for...
Just the history of talking with a guy like that that's held the belt, heavyweight champion. And before that, he was doing this thing before he got to the UFC as well. I've seen pretty much his whole career. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, and then came into MMA, started striking, started knocking guys dead. So huge fan of him, huge fan of JDS. Bigger fan of this fight happening in my promotion, bare knuckle, the closest thing to a real fight, So I can't even describe, man.
Incredible, bro. I wanted to ask you about that too. Just what is that feeling like? You know what I mean? Two former UFC heavyweight champions fighting under your promotion. You're not just on the undercard or something like that. You're the guy. You're the one running it, and these guys are kind of thanking you for the opportunity you're giving them, man. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, been a lot of work, a lot of T's to cross and dots, I's to dot. It hasn't stopped. It's not easy. It's freaking tedious work. It's not like I could just punch somebody in the face and the fight is over in the business world. It's like, man, you got to get after it. My allergies are fucking killing me. What the hell's wrong with my eye? You got to get after it, man. And it took a while. On Werdum's side, it was easy to do. On JDS, he was an agent. He was booked already. So with another promotion, so we had to work in getting him free. Once he became free, we were able to negotiate a deal. And here we are, having our biggest fight, our biggest event. We got another 11 UFC fighters on the card, totaling in total 11 UFC fighters. So the fights are going to be very evenly matched. We got a lot of guys that got a lot of upside to them that are young in the game as well. We're looking forward to this night.
Talk about what would you kind of predict is like the difference between MMA with the gloves on and bare knuckle, which we're going to see on your promotion.
The main difference,
like your face maybe a little bit more, I don't know.
Definitely have to worry about your face more because now, these blows are coming at you with no padding, but there's more submissions, right? Because the gloves, they get in the way of submissions. These bulky gloves kind of stop you from getting in the choke. So you could grab that glove, but when it's a slippery hand, it's harder to control this hand. It's harder to stop this hand. So the hand gets in places easier, like Werdum was explaining, and now you could finish the choke. So now these positions where people generally stall, you could finish them, So it's a lot more submissions, a lot more KOs, a lot more knockouts because it's also barehanded, so more force in a way, You
get touched.
You get touched, it's different, It's bone on bone.
I mean, speaking of, man, obviously that's how, we remember you getting your start, right, in those Kimbo Slice videos and all that stuff. Just, do you ever think back on that time and just remember that kid and just think like, damn, look, what would that kid think about where I am now?
That kid would be surprised himself, because we knew we were going to get after it in the fight side, but I didn't think I was going to do so much in the promotion side, especially in such short term. Such a short timeline. It's been crazy what we've been able to pull off. A lot of it has to do that I have a great team. I feel I have the best team. I also know a lot of these individuals, coaches, fighters, managers, promoters, promotions. So we put all our resources together, and every day we get after the task. I want to put forth some of the best fights the world has ever seen, bare knuckle.
I feel like also Miami, Florida, that whole town I feel like is undervalued in the fight game. I feel like it's definitely a fight town, but I don't see a lot of promotions doing a lot of work there.
Well, this is going to be the one and only that matters out of Miami, Florida, period.
100%, man. I just want to talk some fighting stuff with you. Did you see Nate Diaz land that guillotine on Jake Paul in their match? What'd you think about that? First guillotine in boxing.
Yeah, first guillotine in boxing. It's like stupid to me in a way. Like, people ain't paying for you to be walking around the ring doing guillotines. People paying you for fucking violence. Knock this motherfucker dead, or try to at least. So with those things, I'm like, whatever, not that you can't have showmanship, because obviously you could have that. But on both sides, I just felt the fight was a little lackluster. It could have been a lot more action for the fans, definitely. The skill set we all knew wasn't going to be there, and it was bad. The skill set was bad, from a boxing standpoint. But the actual willingness to want to kill each other wasn't there for me either. So I'm kind of like, I wouldn't grade it the highest performance,
I know you're a boxing fan, just
boxing fan.
Just what got asked you, man? Terrence Crawford, KO versus Earl Spence, man. What did you see that from a fighter's perspective? What did you see?
Man, Terrence looks unstoppable. Spence is a beast. Spence is amazing. Defense, offense, doesn't get tired, power, speed, combinations. He does it all in boxing. Spence, you could say easily does it all and does it well. And for Terrence to go up on weight, go southpaw, beat him the way he did, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Spence is the truth, man. He's #1 pound for pound on my list right now.
Obviously, I feel like the fight that Terrence, would be maybe the most obvious would be Jermell Charlo, but he's moving up to fight Canelo. Just first, what do you think about that fight? 154 guy going up, 14 pounds to challenge, one of the best pound for pound in Canelo.
I love it that Canelo's willing to take these fights, willing to keep pushing himself there again, yet he's fighting an undisputed #1 guy in the world when he doesn't have to. He could be taking much easier fights, older guys, getting bigger paychecks for not risky fights. And again, he's putting it all on the line for his dynasty. So I'm a huge diehard Canelo fan. He's one of my favorite fighters. Charlo is this up-and-coming gorilla, man. The guy hits hard. He could push through fatigue. Good defense at times. A lot of power. But I don't think he's as polished, as clean, and as neat as Canelo. So I'm gonna lean towards Canelo. But, I mean, Jermell could punch, man. He could fucking crack. He's mean, so I could see him having success early on, but at the end of the day, I think Canelo's more dog, and he's just going to break him,
The big kind of talk in boxing right now is Terrence moving up to face Canelo, obviously, if Canelo were to be successful. That's 21 pounds, man. Is that maybe a little too much, or is Crawford just that good of a talent that, maybe the fight is close?
I mean, I think about, Manny Pacquiao versus Margarito. Maybe Margarito didn't belong in there skill set wise, with the skill set of Pacquiao, but his weight made it one of Manny's toughest fights. Manny has always said it. When he would hit Manny says he would feel it in the soul, I think it's going to be one of those things that's a huge fucking difference, man. It's a big, and Canelo's, no disrespect to Margarito, he's not Margarito. He's faster, he hits harder, better boxing defense, so it's a tall task. But if there's somebody I want to see try to go for that task with such a disadvantage in weight, it's Terrence, because he could do it all. He could fight on the inside, he could fight on the outside, he could box right-handed, southpaw, he could just stay jabbing somebody to death, or he could work right inside, get to it, start working the body, then coming over the top with big hooks, making guys miss, changing his rhythm and patterns in just a second. Like, you really have to appreciate what Terrence is doing in there. It's a master class. He goes to one side, he starts counting, then he goes to another side, full offensive. You just don't know what he's going to come with. The art of inside fighting is like kind of lost in boxing. The guys don't do it how they used to, like in the 70s, 80s, I think Terrence is one of those guys that fights in the inside and well. He knows how to fight. He knows how to, grapple and hold the guy here, release there. He does it all well. In my book, he's just A+ guy.
100% as an artist, like you said, for sure.
I heard rumors that Mayweather might be coming back to fight Terrence. Is that would be what? I don't think that's the right guy to come back against. I think Mayweather's one of the greatest of all times, but not Terrence, man. That's not the dude to fight, man, on your comeback fight.
Keep your legacy the way it is, right?
Do not fight that guy in your comeback fight.
Just want to talk a little MMA with you, but this last weekend, Sean O'Malley got it done against Aljamain.
Aljamain was going to get it done with the grappling, the wrestling, but man, what a fight, man! What a competitor! What a way to be clutch.
Who's next for Sean? Do you think?
I think probably either Meraba or Cejudo, or I would like my good friend Chito Vera is actually here from LA. I'd like to him get the rematch with Sean. That'd be a great fight. I mean, he did beat Sean back in the day in a good fight, so why not do it again?
Yeah, hopefully, man. A fight I want to get your take on. Two of your best buds, Leon and Colby, should be locking horns sometime soon. Just what's like the best outcome for Masvidal in that fight? What do you just want to see in there?
I'm cheering for Leon to head kick Colby's bitch ass cop calling, saying he's got a brain injury, this and that. That dude's a fraud, a fake, and a bitch. He has to hire girls to be on set, pay girls to hang out with him. Like, how pathetic are you, bro? And he's just gonna get exposed again.
What do you think about Jon Jones not wanting him on, like, to share the card with him?
He stole clothes from Jones. Back when they were roommates, he fucking stole money from him. He did a lot of outlandish, fucked up things to Jon. So why would Jon share that platform with him, allow him to make more money than he's ever made because he's on this card, So I 1,000,000% agree with Jon. And if you're the greatest of all time and you have any say in this sport, why not pull some weight, right? Why not, flex a little bit? Who the fuck is Colby Covington anyways, right?
Just last two I want to get your take on. We're speaking of Jon Jones, Stipe Miocic, obviously up next. That's a good fight, man. Second fight of Jon Jones at heavyweight. What do you think? How does that one play out?
I think this is, on paper, I think this is the toughest fight of Jon Jones' career. It's hard to to bet against Jon Jones, right? Because he could do it all so well. He's just his phenom. But Miocic, when I look at, the infrastructure of both, the mathematical components, whatever you want to call it, fight science, I think that Stipe possesses a lot of problems, He has great wrestling. He's going to be able to wrestle back into Jones, naturally bigger guy. And I think that he could wrestle and, especially in the early parts, not give up takedowns. I think that's going to be huge, If he could do that in the early part and stuff takedowns and force Jon to be on his feet, because Jon always has the option. I'll keep it up or I'll take it down. If Stipe could take one of those options away, then the fight's going to get a lot more interesting. I think it'll be one of Jones' tougher fights, but again, can't bet against Jones, right? It's insane.
It's going to be great, man. Last one, the sports are marrying together, in October with Francis Ngannou going up against Tyson Fury. It's a tall task for your first, boxing match ever. But I mean, Francis did want to start boxing to begin with. That's how it all started. He's a big ass dude. How does that one play out for both those dudes?
I always want to cheer for my MMA brothers and sisters, but bro, you're fighting literally the pound for pound best heavyweight I've seen in a long time. Last 20, 30 years. I don't know, because Tyson is that good, man. He is that fucking good, that athletic, that committed, and on that day. And that fucking little eye of his goes fucking cross-eyed and he goes fucking full Tyson mode on you. Hey, there's no stopping that guy. So Ngannou always has a punching chance, but I think it should be like an exhibition, a coming out party again for Tyson,
Man, coming out, not a coming out party because you've already had it, September 8th, GameBreed fighting. Tell the fans where they could follow that and see the fights, man.
September 8th, live in Jacksonville, Florida, White Star Arena. You can see it on my Facebook page, on my Twitter page, on my Instagram page. We're going to be streaming it all live on my YouTube as well. So just click any one of those pages, sign up, and enjoy.
And fans just got to watch it, just subscribe, huh?
All you got to do is subscribe. Tell everybody your boy GameBreed's throwing the show. Spread the word so I keep getting these fighters paid, so I keep getting sponsorships, because the more views that come in, the more money I get for these guys, and I can keep putting on animals like this,
Definitely, man. I can't wait. Thank you very much for your time, brother. Appreciate you, man.